We may not be seeing an interest rate cut anytime soon, and in fact, we may even see another interest rate hike. Don't shoot the messenger, but I want to tell you something happened yesterday that you need to know about. So for the third month in a row, inflation is going in the wrong direction, up. Yesterday's Consumer Price Index report found March inflation increased both month over month and year over year. The overall inflation of everything we eat, buy, and use increased 0.4% between February 2024 and March of 2024, and increased 3.5% between March 2023 and March 2024. The biggest reasons for those increases, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, was the increase in the cost of shelter, which was up almost 6%, and gasoline, which was up a little more than 1%. Year over year. Food at restaurants was up more than 4% year over year. Medical care was up more than 2%, and insurance for your car was up more than 22% between March of 2023 and March of 2024. Now, there were some areas where inflation went down, like for used cars and trucks, which were down more than 2% year over year, and airline fares, which were down more than 7% year over year. Now, before I go any further, you have to understand, just because these numbers say inflation is coming down, that does not necessarily mean that prices are coming down. When inflation decreases, it just means the rate of price increases for goods and services is slowing down. So prices aren't going up as fast. It's the Federal Reserve's job to keep prices steady and not have these wild spikes. And their goal is to see price increases no more than 2% every year. The main tool they use to do that is interest rates. That's the hammer the Fed uses to get inflation down, and the tool it uses to jumpstart the economy when it stalls out. Now, last year, we saw a steady decrease in inflation, and the Fed thought it was largely because of their decisions to jack up interest rates to the highest levels we've seen since 2001. And it was working to cool off the economy. And because of that, the Fed chair projected that if all stayed on track, inflation would get closer to 2% in the beginning of 2024, and the Fed could cut interest rates 3 times this year. Well, things have not stayed on track. Despite these really high interest rates for the last 3 months, the economy is still booming. People are still spending. The jobs market is still hot. And as a result, inflation is creeping back up. It went up in January, February, and now in March too. And because of that, it is likely the Federal Reserve may decide not to cut interest rates in June as we originally thought. And some economists are warning that if this continues, the Fed may even start considering another interest rate increase to get inflation back to 2%. We'll know more when the Fed meets at the end of this month.